Oh, I want to cry. Hello, frog fans. Alright. Okay, so I'm back at my desk workstation thing, and today I thought that I would finish something that I need to do, which is make some black hair color for this little one. So I thought I have to do that, gotta get that done. So why not make a video talking about something that a lot of people are interested in, I think, in the community, and that is what I wish I would have known or would have been told or would have been more widely known in the community before I started making reborn dolls. So I'm just going to be mixing up the paint here, and I'll go over a few of the things that I wish I had known before I started making reborn dolls. So number one, I think, would have to be, Okay, number one is definitely, it's not all one step, and you can't just follow one tutorial all the way through and be successful. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say can't, like as in it's impossible, but it's definitely like, nothing in the process is just one step. You can't just do one thing and be done. You can't just do one flesh layer and be done. You can't just do one mottling layer and be done. You can't just do, nothing is one layer. The only thing that might be one layer is veining. That's the only thing that could possibly be one layer, but often that is two as well. So, and the reason that I wish I had known that is because I followed a great tutorial that I found on YouTube, and it was good, but it didn't get across to me that it needed to be, you needed to do everything more than once, and I thought that, if I did everything once, if everything's like a linear step, a linear process, and that was very, very wrong. And my first doll, Rylan, she's a twin bee, ended up as a bit of a hot mess, but she's my first doll, and I'll probably keep her forever because she was my first doll and she isn't in any condition to sell. The second thing I wish I had known before I started making reborns is lighting is crucial. And as in lighting, I mean not just a well-lit room. You cannot use a normal light bulb. Do not use a normal light bulb, okay? You need to go out, and I got my light bulbs from Walmart. I've never had to replace them yet in the 2.5 years I've been doing this. I'm sure I'll have to replace them eventually, but they are, I wonder, I don't have the package anymore, I don't think. I used to, but they're like any light bulb that's meant to, what's the word? Like any light bulb that's supposed to look like natural sunlight, that's supposed to imitate natural sunlight. You want the bulb that is closest to, recreating what natural sunlight would look like, or else you're going to end up having a very different perspective of the doll in different lightings. Like, Rylan looked fine underneath my normal light bulb, but when I took her outside, yikes. So, it really is crucial to have the proper lighting while doing this. because there's just so much that you're not going to be able to see if you use a normal light bulb. And if you're having any trouble finding a light bulb like that, I just went in and asked an employee that worked in that section in Walmart what they thought, what light bulb would most be closest to natural sunlight, and they pointed out the bulbs that I'm working with now, and they've worked great for me. Okay. Next thing. Okay, going into making dolls and then making them to sell. You're going to overestimate yourself. And your first doll should not go for price of a quality doll of an experienced artist. I know that this probably sounds like duh, but in the beginning I don't think I quite got the message of that, and I overpriced my first doll that I was selling way too much, and obviously she didn't go for that, and I sort of came back down to earth and realized that she was worth a lot less than, what other dolls were going for, and that I needed to, price the doll to what she was worth and not what other dolls were going for. So don't expect too much with the first couple of dolls you sell. I like making ink. What else? Okay, what is this? Fourth thing that I wish I knew was, and this is not just for artists, I suppose, this is for collectors as well, you're never going to have any extra money. You just won't. I used to be really good at saving money, but then I got into reborns, and then it's like, I don't have any extra money now. It just all goes out the window into the dolls. Alright, the fifth, I think it's the fifth, it might be sixth, I don't know. Haven't been keeping track properly because I'm doing two things at once. Anyways, so the fifth thing that I wish I had known before I started making reborns is that you're not going to get as much slack as you think you are. Before I actually started making reborns and actually had some dolls, I, saw all those reborn, horror stories where people are, really, really rude and very misunderstanding, which those types of people do exist, but I've never had too many bad encounters of that nature, especially in public. I think most of that sort of abusive behavior of the reborn community is online for the most part, because people are a lot bolder with what they will say online, and a lot of them have nothing better to do than peruse online and find people to make fun of for their own personal gain, which is disgusting. But hey, I have a hobby. They should find one too. So if you're sharing your dolls online, I know it's a little bit less scary because, you're not face-to-face with anyone, but if you're sharing your dolls online, you probably shouldn't be afraid to go out in public with them, because I find that I get a lot less grief in public than I do online, which, I haven't had a lot of grief online, but there's been a couple things, and really, you just gotta let it go, because, honestly, it's not worth it. Alright, the seventh thing I wish I had known before starting reborns is this buddy right here. The thinning medium is not a varnish. Ever, never, ever will be a varnish. Ever, okay? Because if you try to use it as a varnish, let's see, is it still, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Let's check. You can't really see it properly. I know that everyone's always afraid of getting little crusty thingies on the reborn with using the Matte varnish. Thinning medium, even worse. I've been trying to get rid of these little crusty things on her hands and feet for like a week now, and like, oh my god. So never, ever, ever, never, ever, no. Not a varnish. Another thing that I wish I had been told was this paint right here, the Flesh 02, the dark brown, will turn orange if you don't neutralize it with blue. Ah, my drawer! So, you know, if you're... I'm almost out of blue. If you're using the Flesh 02, or some of the other Flesh colors, I don't know if all the Flesh colors do it, I know that Flesh 02 does, you need to neutralize it with blue. I would start off by using, like, putting the blue into your mix first, and making it a nice, you know, translucent blue color. You know, you want to see the blue, you want it to be a dark translucent color, but not so dark that you can't, you know, get rid of it with the brown. So put the blue in first, then put, you know, add the Flesh 02, the brown in, until you can't see the blue anymore. Because it will turn orange. Luckily for me, I knew that before I started my little, what's the word? Ugh, I can't English today. My little, mixed-raced baby over here. Or else she would have ended up, like, completely orange. And there's no coming back from that. Alright, another thing that I wish I had known was there's a little trick that some artists use, and they'll put linseed oil into their paints. I started doing that too, just to try it out. Apparently, like, I find that it makes it easier to spread the paint to blend it. They also say that it makes your paint, like, brighter. I haven't found that yet, but I do find that it makes it easier to blend out the paint, so I put it in my veining mix and my creasing mix. But, however, I wonder if I still have the jar. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. If you put too much linseed oil in, your paints will stop mixing. So, you know, if you're using the linseed oil, you can't add too much, or else your paint will just stop mixing together. I was putting, like, I started off with green in this veining mix, made it very, very green, and then I tried to put a bunch of blue into it, and the blue would just not take. The color was not changing, and I realized it's because the blue just wasn't mixing anymore. So yeah, don't do that. You can still use it, just be very, very sparing with it, or you'll end up with a disaster. Last thing that I wish I knew before I started Reborns is that the Prismacolor pencils that you can get from Michael's, or other craft stores probably, can make great substitution for painting eyebrows, because I suck at painting eyebrows. I just cannot do it. So that makes those pencils make a great substitute for drawing on the eyebrows. You get them really, really sharp, and they make tiny little lines that make your eyebrows look good. The only thing you have to remember is you have to varnish over them, and you have to be very, very gentle, or you will start to, you know, wipe your eyebrows off. So it's a bit tricky, but to me it's worth the, you know, tediousness of it, because I just cannot paint eyebrows to save my life. Alright, so that is the, like 8 things I wish I had known before I started reborning, and this paint is still not done. You know what? Add that to the list, number 9. It takes forever to mix your own paint, especially if you want a dark, you know, heavy color, like hair painting, it takes for freaking ever, okay? And you're gonna use up a lot of paint. Okay, so anyways, now that is everything. That is everything that I wish I had known before I started reborning. So, wish me luck with this, because this one's going to take forever, because it needs to be nice and dark and nice and thick before I can start painting this little one's hair. Ah! Oh my god, guys, are you serious? Oh my god, look at me! Oh no! Oh god! Is it on her? Oh my god, I have an entire black thumb. Man, I just showered. Never a dull moment here. Okay, it's on the back of her head a little bit. I gotta get that off before it stains. You guys, I'm so mad. I'm so mad at myself. Why did I have to pick the doll's head up? Why couldn't I have just left it where it was? It was fine where it was. Just for effect. You see what I do for you guys? This is all your fault. I'm kidding. It's my fault for being a complete and utter klutz. Oh my god, it's like old dripping around my leg. It's probably on the floor. Aw, man. And it's not coming out of these shorts ever. It's a good thing they're pajama shorts. And I just wasted like a whole bunch of thinner and a whole bunch of paint. Good god. Oh my god. Oh, and freaking thinning medium too. There was a lot of thinning medium in that. Oh man. Okay. The 10th thing I wish I knew before I started reborning. Don't pick up a doll head when you have a full beaker of paint on your desk. Oh no. No. I want to cry. Alright, that's all for now. I'm very sweaty, I know. Last days of summer. Wah. Wish me luck, guys. Bye.